you know, I just wanted to wear this, so since I just wanted to be like Raya in this movie. But let's get into this review, eh? Hey guys, what is up? This is Ben Falcon's Media Corner, and welcome back to another movie review, aka For Us All. And today I'm going to be talking about the 2021 computer animated fantasy adventure film from Walt Disney Animation, which this is their newest installment for the animation library since 2016's Moana. So this is not a sequel to any previous Disney animated films we've had back then, which we already had that with 2018's Ralph Breaks the Internet and 2019's Frozen 2. So this is the newest installment for the animation library, like I said, and this is, of course, Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, Raya and the Last Dragon, this was directed by Don Hall, one of the directors of Big Hero 6, and Carlos López Estrada, director of Blind Spotting, in which basically the story of this film tells the story of this fantasy world known as Kamandra, where we learn about the history of Kamandra, which is this magical fantasy world, where dragons and humans lived in perfect harmony, and these dragons basically help the humans who are in danger from any deadly forces out there, as well as like any other deadly creatures. And in which basically these dragons protect the humans from this dangerous monster known as Droon, which they basically turn people into stone, which is this sort of like this black cloud kind of thing, which if you get affected by it, if you get caught by it, you get turned into stone. And so 500 years later, we follow this young warrior named Raya, voiced by Kelly Marie Tran, which she gets told about this magical world of Kamandra by her father, and get told about these dragons, in which, unfortunately for the dragons, they're no longer around anymore. And basically what happens is Raya's father gets turned into stone, as well as other people who live in her village, as well as for other townspeople. They've also been turned into stone. And basically the dragon gem is broken, and basically Raya has to go on this adventure to find the pieces of the dragon stone, where she awakens this dragon known as Sisu, voiced by Awkwafina, who is this like water dragon who has the ability of water, as well as she can also turn into human. And basically we see Raya and Sisu, and they go on this adventure to basically find the pieces of the dragon stone, in which she also comes across a bunch of other characters that she comes to from other areas and villages that she travels to in this film. And we basically see, Raya, Sisu, and everyone trying to find the rest of the pieces of the dragon stone, and hopefully they can save Raya's father, as well as everyone who has been turned into stone, as well as stop from the Droon monsters as well. So that's pretty much the story of Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, for going into Raya and the Last Dragon, I didn't see the trailers back then when they were everywhere on the internet. Like, I didn't see this on YouTube. I saw a tiny bit of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing because I didn't want to get spoiled of like what this movie was about to be like, because I'm usually sometimes with that with films. But if there's anything I'm really looking forward to, I always keep rewatching it. And I should have at first with this film, because we didn't have like a new Disney film back then since 2016's Moana, which is an amazing animated film from Walt Disney Animation, and I will do a review of that on my channel. So I did check out a few images as well as a few posters for this film, and the posters and images that were shown for this movie looked absolutely incredible, because the detail of the animation for the posters looks absolutely gorgeously stunning. And this was released this year. It came out in March this year. I didn't watch it until then because my cinemas aren't still open for this film, and it's also streaming on Disney Plus for Premier Access. So I couldn't wait that long because I wanted to see this film, and so I decided to watch this on Disney Plus for Premier Access. I watched this today for Easter Sunday, and all I gotta say is this was an absolutely awesome animated film from Walt Disney Animation. This is easily one of their best since Moana. I don't think this is better than the other previous animated films I've seen, but this is still one of the best ones I have ever seen. in which the animation for this film is of course gorgeous and yet spectacular for the details and the visuals in this film, which they absolutely nailed the technical achievement for that, which there are so many good details of the animation here, like the water, the clothing, the human characters, like the hairs and the skin, as well as like the set, like the whole like other areas that we see Raya traveling along as well, traveling along her way in this film, and as well as for the characters that she comes across to. Those sets looked absolutely incredible. And the action sequences in this film, which there's a bunch of sword play and there's a few other action sequences outside of those, which they were really exciting, and I was really excited, and it got me on like almost got me edge of my seat when I was watching the action sequences, because the action sequences were breathtaking, since there's a lot of sword plays going on between Raya and this girl named Namori, who is voiced by Gemma in this film, who is Raya's enemy, like a rivalry enemy, and they're basically head to head. Since they've been like we do learn a little bit more about them when they were young girls, and then 6 years later on we see them at war with each other, and which for those scenes they were exciting to watch. And the characters in the film, like you got Raya voiced by Tran from the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. She was great in this movie, and you got Awkwafina Sisu. She was really funny in this movie, and luckily her character, I was almost a bit worried like what her character was going to be like for an animal, like a talking like creature or animal from any of the animated films I've seen, which some of them do work for me, but most of them just don't really work for me at all, because sometimes they end up as either like bumbling or just really dumb. But luckily for the character Sisu, this dragon, she was really cute, and she is really funny in this movie, from seeing her special abilities that she can do involving water as well as turning into human. And as for the other characters in the film, like you got this young boy who when his family gets turned to stone, he runs his own business by selling shrimps, and then he's kind of like we soon starts to realize he's actually a genius, and then he helps Raya along the journey to basically find out about the dragon stone. He was really funny in the movie. And you got this baby, which she's really smart, and I thought like, is this baby gonna do anything what I usually see for animated films that they try to do that for. Luckily, she's not like that in the movie, and she's really cute in the film as well. And the character of Namari, who's the enemy of Raya in this film, she was great and badass for every action sequence that she does in this film as well. And as for other positive aspects, I'll say for this film, the music by James Newton Howard, since he hasn't done music for an animated film in a long time, since Treasure Planet, which I have not seen that film, but I'd like to check out that movie, and I will do a review of that on my channel for you guys very soon whenever I do see that. But the music in the movie, yeah, it's stunning to listen to for the area of Asian culture in this film, because it's for the way it's told, it does almost remind me of like Disney's Mulan, which I've not seen the animated film, but I need to watch that movie at some point. But I have seen the 2020 live action film from last year, and I will do a review of that on my channel very soon. So this is basically like a sort of like a comeback to it's sort of like Mulan but CGI, because you know for the original animated film, that was of course hand drawn 2D animation. But however, like I said, the music by James Newton Howard, it's just stunning for every scene in this movie. That's just visually breathtaking, as well as really exciting, mainly for the sword play action sequences and other action sequences that do not involve sword play. And of course the story from Disney, of course very creative as they always do. It's such a gorgeous looking world about Kamandra, because from when we do learn about the history, it's gorgeous to look at. When we do learn about, you know, the dragons and the humans, as well as the danger that they always get, the fear of danger they've always faced, until they come back again, and then something terrible happens, and it's up to basically, of course, you know, a young warrior who's destined to basically, you know, find the last remaining dragon that no one's ever found of sorts, and then a big extravaganza happens along the adventure. So For its story, it's of course really creative, and there's some more aspects of its story that do not involve about, you know, a young warrior who's about to find the last dragon. It's basically about who is at war with this enemy she's now facing, which is a young girl that she's known for, and then they suddenly become enemies. In which that really makes a really exciting aspect of the story, which is you just want to see a lot of dueling and stuff like that, and so much. The film does do that, and it is really exciting. But in the end, Raya and the Last Dragon, this was such an awesome animated film. I had an absolute blast with it from beginning to end, from its gorgeous animation, very likable characters, such a creative story, and stunning music, and just overall everything about this film. There was no negativity about this film that bugged me while I was watching it. There's everything about it, it's just so perfect. And this is easily one of my favorite films of the year so far, and even my favorite animated film of the year so far. So overall, I'm going to give Raya and the Last Dragon an A. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my review of Raya and the Last Dragon. If you did see the film, if you already seen it in the US, which it's been released in cinemas in the US, as well as it's on streaming on Disney Plus, but it's for premiere access, and it's just doing that for the UK so far. And I'm not sure if it will be released in local cinemas when they reopen in the UK, but who knows. But if you've already seen the film, either in cinemas in the US or mainly on Disney Plus in the US, as well as for Disney Plus for the UK, if you've already seen the film, let me know what you think of it. Did you have an awesome time of it, or weren't you really a fan of it? If you didn't, that's perfectly fine. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video, which it's going to be on 2 movies involving Easter, since today's Easter Sunday. So happy Easter Sunday, everybody, and I hope you all have a good Easter. So again, stay tuned for my next video, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.